Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Game Vault podcast stream. I'm your host, Mark. We're back with the news hour here for June 7th, the end of SGF week. We still have one more direct whenever the hell Nintendo does their thing next week to technically be all done with everything. But for the most part, we've gotten everything out. So I think we are looking good in terms of news. We're starting a little early tonight, just so I can get through as much of the stuff as possible. I'm going to skip some things because if you want to see my full reaction to some of the things or know why I skipped them, all of the press conferences should be up. You can check the Story Rich one on the, on Twitch. I'm not going to put that up on YouTube because I barely said anything for those just going, oh, that's cute. I like the look of that. I think that's nice. Ooh, that's up my alley. And just kind of repeated that on and on. So that didn't give too much information on it. That one won't be up there. But you can check it out on Twitch if you want to see what I reacted to certain games. But I'll run them all down here. Yeah, it's been a busy week. Get into what I've been playing. So we'll start off on things off stream. I've been playing a lot of Forza 6. I really like the game. The only thing I'm disliking about it is I noticed, Tom. The only thing that I for the audio listeners, Tom said same. He's been playing a lot of Forza, and I said noticed because you get to see your friends' names on leaderboards and stuff every so often when you complete tasks. And I've seen that Tom has almost found every mascot to demolish. I think he was at 121 last I saw. That's of 200. So yeah, I've been going around. The only thing I didn't like, and this is just has nothing to do with the game itself. It's the mechanics to bring you back all the time, like the weekly challenges and the seasonal challenges or whatever they're doing. I don't like winter so far. I think it's just because, and I don't know, I'm assuming this is all randomly generated. I hope it's not AI generated. It probably is. Who knows? But they matched up, or maybe there's cars down the line that could have matched this, but there was a speed trap and a jump that required Japanese cars no higher than S1-800. For those of you that played the game, you understand what that means. That's just a level of car. S1 is like the second highest level. S2 is the highest level. They're like sport cars. And the problem is, the jump was on a mountain with snow and ice. Every car I got that was fast enough could barely keep going in a straight line. Which I don't understand cars enough to know why. If I point a car in a straight line and I just hit gas, it should just go straight if I don't touch the wheel. But maybe there's something I don't know about axles and things that work with cars. But that was just frustrating me. So I had to deep dive into the car tuning. Not the sliders, but like picking parts. And I finally got a Toyota car up, and I got the speed up and the launch and acceleration up. Handling was okay, but not great. So all I had to do was keep it so it didn't spin out as it was going down the hill, and it would be going fast enough to do the jump because of the launch. Acceleration helped with that. And it had to be all-wheel drive. That was the other thing. If it was rear wheel or front wheel, whatever, those were impossible to drive down this jump. So I did it, and I got the thing. And on the speed trap, same thing. I had to find a car with a little more handling to take on the ice. But yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about the season so far is like they didn't match up the weekly challenges with the weather. Or maybe there's, like I said, a bunch of Japanese cars that I have not gotten yet that would have worked there. But it just frustrated me. But that's just because I was doing the challenges. Doing any of the normal Horizon Festival stuff, been perfectly fine. Been loving it. I have my Ford Raptor. Anytime a skill song comes on, I just jump in my Raptor and I just go riding in the woods and destroying as many trees as I possibly can. I think I got over 2 million skill points in a skill song thing. I'm just driving around the forest and doing jumps, and because I completely mastered that car. And now I'm working on this Porsche car. I put Sega wrapping in it, so it has Sonic logos all over it. And I'm working on that, getting that up to snuff to drive around. But I'm fun using all different cars. I'm now using, there's some things that were requiring this Mercedes 200, and again, the winter weather was not cooperating with this car being the weekly car. So maybe that's why there are challenges, but who knows? But I am having fun with it. The races are still fun. I did the mech race. That was a good time. All the rush stuff, all the fun little things have been good. There's only some tracks that, the weather has some effect on things, and that's just annoying at times that I can't do certain things while it's raining. It's a video game. Like, I can see if we were racing and it was a race, but they have the time trial things, and if you try to do the time trial in the rain, I'm like, I want to do this now. I'm here. That was annoying me. But again, it's probably because I think Horizon is a little more arcadey than simmy, and that just felt too simmy for me. But, I got my cars. I got one car wrapped in a McDonald's logo. I love the car wrappings. My favorite car is I got an orange and black Dodge Charger. I'm starting to make it usable, but I love that car. It looks pretty, but trying to use it in the game hasn't been worthwhile yet. Mainly because the skills attached to it are skills that I'm not any good at. So, but I'm having a great time with it. I'm glad that I have it or upgrade it. Game Pass, the $8 for Game Pass to get it. I'm probably going to stick with it. So, yeah, I'm playing that. I didn't get a chance to play that other game that I heard from the Nextlander podcast yet. I have way too many press conferences and other things that I had to squeeze into the last 7 days. I'm probably going to jump into that next week. So we'll talk about it here. Maybe we'll do a hasty glance of it. But I think it's been out a while, so I might not even qualify for that. We'll see. But I will definitely jump in on that this week. Yeah, and besides that, I'm playing my sports games, FIFA, and a little bit, and that's about it. I want to get into NCAA. I might jump back in, but the PlayStation is next to me here because of 007, which will be the last game we talk about today, but might do that. We'll see. All right, so what I've streamed. So UN Squadron, love that game. I love it so much. It is the frustrating parts about it are fun because now I don't know exactly how to describe this, and I may not be doing it well, or I may be under overselling it. But that game is giving me the same feelings, and maybe it shouldn't. Maybe I'm just bad at them. But that game is giving me the same feelings as when I played a Dark Souls game. And when I finally beat a level, I have the same euphoria for beating that level. I feel that's how much I am into it. And learning all the planes, finding the one that shoots straight and down has been a game changer for 2 of the levels. Made them a little bit easier, and probably were required for them. I probably jumped ahead. Learning how all the special weapons work has been a godsend. And learning that I can use special weapons there. Having unlimited continues is great. It has one really good help outside of letting me not have to start all the way from the beginning again. The power for my normal gun is now always max, and anytime I get a new plane, that plane will automatically be maxed out. So that's good for us beating the game. But yeah, there's no build up. I immediately get the level 6 plane when I buy the thing. But yeah, so far I'm getting used to the run. I think there's going to be another section of map. I don't think this is just its own section. Maybe it is. I mean, it is a Super Nintendo game, so these may be the intention of only having 9 lives essentially allows it to just be the map we're looking at. But that would be good for us in terms of what's called for the doing the top 50 thing. The next one up might be a little shorter. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the list in a while. But I'm having fun with this game, and it's not a bore. I'm hoping none of them are a bore. They shouldn't be. They're top 50 games of all time. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I am excited to get back into it tonight. If you're listening to this. If you're watching live tomorrow night. And next up, we have Trails in the Sky, second chapter. We're almost done that game. I have one more town to go to drop off the field generator. The downside with this field generator thing, which is a little bit annoying, is that without the field generator, you can't use magic. So it's making some of these fights a lot longer than they need to be, because I only have one person with magic. So, or I'm going to only have one person with magic soon. And it's going to have to be Shira because she has the best healing magic. And so everybody else has to hit, with attacks. Thankfully, we're level 80. So it's not the worst thing in the world. It just, I would love to be able to hit multiple enemies with spells from multiple creatures. Or multiple characters. Soon I won't be able to do Earth Wall. Because as good as Earth Wall is, I do need to heal my party. So the healer has to have priority. Maybe I can get her Earth Wall. I'll see. I'll look through it. But I'm not looking forward to fighting a boss with no magic. Which I think they're leaning towards right now. And using crafts and stuff like that. I don't know why they take away an element of the game. At least when they did it in Final Fantasy 8. Tom, cover your ears. They allowed you to get it back by defeating enemies. So we'll see. We'll see where this goes. But I'm still having a lot of fun with it. We should be done in 2 to 3 weeks. I know I say that every day, and I know I'm sounding like the White House, but yeah, I'm thinking this is the last run we have to do. We just finished everything we needed to do in Rouen. Now we're going to Zeus, and Zeus is probably a good one to do last, or maybe I should have done it first. We'll see. If they give me ability to have everybody have magic after Zeus, I am going to be mad for leaving Zeus to last. At myself, not at the game. Because I should have thought of that. But, yeah, so we have Zeus where the central factory is, so, yeah, looking good. And then we'll have Neo-Fantasian coming up after that, so, and then after that, we'll have Persona 4. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah. That might actually be run... The Persona 4 might be the 007 of next year, so... yeah. Either way, speaking of, I played 3 sessions of 007 First Light, and that game is almost the perfect mix of Uncharted and Hitman. It's got, like, the Uncharted battles and fighting mechanic. And it has a lot of the sneaking around Hitman stuff, which if you watch my last stream, it took me a while to kind of, get up the courage and understand how the levels work out to be able to do Hitman-esque stuff. So, we're getting there. The Bond is great Bond. The story is great. I like the side characters. I keep trying to guess who's going to be the double agent, who's going to turn, who's going to be the villain. Already know something that might come into play with the villain, and one of the people that might be a villain because it's tied too much to the story to not be an issue. Yeah, so, all the characters have been great. The voice acting's been spot on. So I'm excited about that. So looking forward to playing some more next week with you guys and getting through it. It's only like a 12 to 15 hour game, so we should be done it in the next week or two. So that will be nice. yeah, that's about all I've been playing. Please let us know in the comments and all that what you've been playing. Or you can go over to Patreon, patreon.com/TCTAMpod. That's the movie podcast I'm on. They called us a movie. Over there, if you do $1 on the Patreon, we have a Discord that is basically the video game section. I try to put as much stuff up there as possible for video games. And there are people actually there. We discuss games, old games, new games. I put up, fun things that happen during these press conferences there. And also, if you're into movies, music, television, there's channels for that. There's a channel for if you draw art, or if you find good photos or posters or something, you want to drop it. It's a pic dump. You can just drop it in there. We do question of the week. We do movie polls of the month. There's a lot going on over there. I highly recommend doing the patreon.com/TCTAMpod. That's TCTAMpod. And that's essentially where you can talk to me and Tom over there if you have any video game opinions. All right. Without further ado, it's going to be the bulk of the show or more. Let's get on to the news. Wait, hold on one second. I almost forgot. I was reading through the stories and had the thing on the last story. So I needed to switch it over. Yeah, let me get this thing up for you guys so you can be there. So first off, let's start off with the State of Play. Sony State of Play on Tuesday. Video's been up since Tuesday or Wednesday. Unless you're in Russia, I apologize. Use a VPN. You can watch my reaction there. But yeah, we'll just go through Video Games Chronicles sort of breakdown here. Sorry about that. That came out of nowhere. So, first off, the State of Play started out with Wolverine. We got 7 minutes of gameplay. It looked really it felt like it was just violent Spider-Man for most of it. Then when, we got introduced to Jean Grey in there, and I saw where you could do the differences and the way the, they used the regenerating health thing for, that's where it started to separate. And I do love a good, a good Wolverine story. Wolverine's probably my second favorite superhero. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so the next story is very important to me. But yeah, this was pretty good. I recommend going and checking out the gameplay trailer. It's very violent, very visceral. The director said that there's something to turn it down, not like completely off, but at least lessen it if gore is too bad. If you can't really take gore too much, but the blood on the suit, blood on him, and then it sort of disappearing was kind of bad, but maybe they can say it's like his body, the healing factors in his suit or whatever. Some bullshit excuse there. But it was a great way to start the show. Wolverine was really, really good. Next up, they announced the Knights of Doom for Marvel Tokon Fighters, or Fighting Souls. Basically, that was Magneto, Green Goblin, and Carnage. Steve Blum's Green Goblin is great. It's exactly from these games, the Spider-Man video games, the look, the sound. Done a really good job with it. Obviously trying to separate it from the movies. And then the Carnage is, that Carnage just needs to be just a ball of chaos and violence. And when he jumps into this trailer, he is just that. And then, you having Magneto and Doom sort of be more of your heavy characters and, using a little more of the magic, quote unquote, with the magnetic power, and then, the Doom secondary stuff and all that. There's a nice balance. I don't like the voice of Spider-Man. Again, if I play this game, I'm playing in Japanese because it feels right. Um, but the American voice actor for Spider-Man, I did not like. So I did enjoy Goblin and Carnage beating the crap out of him throughout the entire trailer. Next up was Rayman Legends Retold. Haven't played a Rayman in a long time, but it looked pretty. It's one of those games where it's like, did they really need to remake it? But, just get it on the high-end 4K stuff, and good side platformers look great for it. Yeah, it was only 2013, so about 13 years ago was when this originally came out. So, yeah. If you're into Rayman, this looks like it's going to be a good one. Next up is a spin-off for Dave the Diver. If you're interested in those Dave the Diver games, Bancho the Chef, which was the sushi chef that you meet in that game. You sort of get his origin story. And it looks like it's a little bit of Cook Serve Delicious and Cooking Mama and all that stuff in this gameplay rather than the gameplay of Dave the Diver in terms of having those sections where you go underwater to get the food and materials that you need. So, yeah. Yeah, that looks like a good spin-off. Didn't really dive deep, and no pun intended, into that series. So, but I do like those Cook Serve Delicious games. So, the gameplay of Bancho looked pretty good to me. Next up is Kimuri, which is the Akumi Nakamura game. That's the really energetic designer from Ghostwire Tokyo days. I think it was 2019. Was the E3 or Summer Games Fest or whatever it was back then, press conference for that. This is her game. I didn't get much out of the trailer outside of I got more about the game listening to Akumi than I did the actual trailer. So they got to show me more of this. I kind of think I understand what the Fox window does. But who knows in terms of that. But yeah, it has a style. I just need to know what that game is. Next up is the Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. That was supposed to be out this year. But they delayed it and then showed this trailer. Looks good. I like that they're blending sort of a lot of the old Lara, and with the new Lara. She's, a little more posh than, the reboots were. But she's still properly proportioned, from what I can tell from the trailer. So it's kind of a middle ground there. So we'll see. Gameplay looks good. You get to shoot dinosaurs, and all that. I played through the second game, never played through the first game. So this would be a new experience for me as well. Next up, Annapurna's game, The Lost Wild, which is a survival game with dinosaurs. Looks a lot like Jurassic Park. Throughout most of the trailers are a little bit of Dino Crisis, but it's probably going to be more like Alien Isolation or something like that in terms of what you were doing here. As the Great Ape Games said in their thing, it's survival horror built on three things: observation, instinct, and restraint. Game director Gary Napper said, watching where a dinosaur looks before you move, holding still when something taller than the building you're hiding behind walks past, knowing when not to run. So, like I said, a little bit of Alien Isolation. Next up was Phantom Blade Zero, or better known as the samurai-looking game with a guy holding a baby. I got an official release date for October of this year. It looks great. The baby is the thing that lets me distinguishes this. As you'll notice, There's going to be a lot of these samurai, sword fighting games here, and in some cases, they have no distinction to separate themselves from the other ones. This one does. Phantom Blade Zero looks really good, and the way it clicks in my brain is, you need to have something. Next up was just a quick announcement. Dune Awakening's coming to PS5, so if you play that and you now do it on your console, or if you're waiting for it, same thing. Dynasty Warriors 3 is getting coming to PS5 in a remaster. Onimusha Way of the Sword looks really good. It has a demo out. I have not been able to try it, but you can go try it for yourself if you want to check it out. Still looks cool as hell with the updated graphics as well. Silent Hill Townfall had a release date announced for September. So another longer trailer here. Got a little bit more of a feeling of the gameplay and the atmosphere. But we're still wait and see for me on this one. Ace Combat 8 also coming in September. This is going to be a theme. Wings of Thief. Ace Combat, I heard that if you start from Ace Combat 4 forward, all the story is anime. And that is wild for a dogfighting fighter pilot game. But yeah, so October 2nd for this. So, but you can early access in September. A lot of games coming out in September. Like Silent Hill Townfall is September 24th. Onimusha September 25th. Everybody... You'll learn as I'm announcing dates, and they... Outside of Phantom Blade Zero, which for reasons they don't have to worry about it. Some of these games don't either, but decided to. They either fall into the category of before GTA 6, like a August through early October window, or a post GTA 6, which is February to March. So a lot of games fell into those two windows this time around. New Stuntman game. It was very confusing at first. They were showing Brian's car from Fast and Furious, the Knight Rider, then Mad Max, then Miami Vice, then the DeLorean. But if you remember the old Stuntman games from PS2, it's sort of the same thing, except now they have movie licenses. So it could be kind of fun to see what they do with that. Ill it'll be Tom's favorite game of this press conference. It is a realistic first-person horror game. It's a grim story, unpredictable monsters, a visceral dismemberment system, and realistic physics create an atmosphere of relentless terror. So like I said, Tom's game of the year. Another September release date, which is probably the one that's at the top of my list to get. Control Resident is coming out September 24th. The trailer here and in the trailer at SGF both look amazing. So I can't wait for this game to come out. If you got PS Plus, Guitar Man is coming. A weird... I can't believe they actually are adding this, but I love that game. But I'm bad at it, just as you saw me try and play Parappa the Rapper. But it is a weird-ass rhythm game that is fun. But also, they announced PsyOps, the Mindgate Conspiracy, another PS2 game, which is weird as hell. That game is coming to PS Plus as well. And then RuneScape Dragon Wilds, if you play RuneScape, that is coming as well. Hold on one second. Next up is Until Dawn. That's getting a sequel. That trailer... The funny part about the trailer, it's the people that made the remaster, which wasn't really good. So the entire time that trailer is playing, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, this looks like an off-brand Until Dawn. Who's making this? Trying to make it as close as possible. And then Until Dawn 2 popped up on the screen, and I'm like, oh, they just got in charge of the game now. So, yeah, I mean, it's got Neil Newborn from Baldur's Gate 3 playing a douchebag, it looks like. Maybe he's not. Maybe he is. Who knows? Maybe your choices decide that. And then Darcy Montgomery from Stranger Things is in it. And it looks good. But it could also be unbelievably mid or awful. So we'll see. And then the final thing at the State of Play, the next God of War game was revealed. God of War Lavallette. Or Laffy. I think it's Lavallette. That is her full name. She did not take it from the singer. For those of you out there who thought that for some odd reason, that is that character's name in Norse mythology. That is probably where the singer got her name. But for some reason, people can only think of, it's people that don't know that some songs are covers. It's the same way. But anyway, gameplay looks awesome. I love Diane Wall. I think she's amazing. And all hail Frank the Cube. Frank the Cube, we don't deserve him. I am a Frank the Cube stan. I know there are people that are annoyed by it, but I feel like it's going to be a good time. Because, I think Jack Quaid will do a great job. But, yeah, all hail the Cube. And I'm glad that it looks like it's like a mixture of all the mythologies. That should be fun. They're not going to touch Christianity, which would be fun. I always said that a God of War in Christianity would be great because you could fight all the saints or all the archangels or whatever. And then either fight God or Jesus at the end. That would be cool. But then again, if you did that, you would be calling Christianity a mythology. And you probably don't want that political backlash. So that was the Sony State of Play. Frank, I gave it a B. A lot of good stuff announced. A little bit of a slow in the middle. Stopped it from being an A. Next up, we have Summer Games Fest. So here are the announcements. Number one, off the bat, probably of my personal, probably, I would say second favorite. I won't say favorite to seem like I'm just trying to be, a contrarian. But I love Code Veronica. I love Resident Evil 2 probably better than it, but Code Veronica is definitely my second favorite one. I've replayed it. The only other one I've replayed outside of 2 before the remakes, I'm talking original game. But yeah, they announced Resident Evil Veronica coming in 2027, which is a remake of Code Veronica. They're probably going to change a good bit because the opening sequence is way different than the opening sequence we got in Code Veronica, where it's her inside a European umbrella being shot at by a helicopter and chased down hallways. Here she seemingly gets captured at an apartment building in Paris looking for Chris. Hopefully, they won't make Steve as annoying as Steve was. Because Steve was a terrible character in the original, and maybe they can make him better. But that's coming in 2027. Cuphead announced that they're doing a hand-drawn sequel. I love that shot at AI there. But they also announced Mighty Cuphead Adventure, which is literally, they created a Master System game. Like, when we say, oh, they created a game that, I literally think if they put it on a cartridge, if they're not already going to do that through limited run games, I think it might actually work on a Master System. I wouldn't put it past MDHR to do that. They advertise it like it's a Sega Master System game. But yeah, it's a side-scrolling, basically Cuphead 1 side-scroller with 8-bit graphics. Probably high-definition 8-bit graphics, but 8-bit graphics nonetheless. I wouldn't put it past them to be able to have it work on a Master System. I love how everybody was like, oh, 8-bit, it's Nintendo. I'm like, everything about the ad screamed Master System. The box art, the system that's there next to the television. But yeah, everybody is sort of like your mom with, oh, the Nintendos. Totally missed the mark with them. I believe MDHR is a UK-based studio, so that would make sense. The Master System was bigger than NES there. Or at least from what I remember. It's bigger than it was here. Yeah, and moving on. Alien Isolation 2 debuted its trailer. I like the idea of like foggy woods, trying to hide from the alien. Good idea. I didn't play the first one, but I think the location is a good choice. It's been 12 years, so it's been a while. Ueda's new game, Gen Atlas. Still unsure exactly what you're doing in it, but it looks like you're flying around in heads and can put them inside bodies, and then you can fight mech battles. That's what I got out of it. It's called Gen Atlas. No release date on that yet. Blood Message, another one of these sword fighting samurai games. It's set in ancient China. I think it's like 848 or 648 or something like that. And, you know, it looks great, but like I said, it's going to have something to stand out from the other games. And then next up, might have been the most mind-boggling announcement that I have ever seen on a SGF, Game Awards, E3, anything. Even bigger than some of the mistakes that have been made. They put Tupac in Stranger Than Heaven. We all made the, Tupac's alive. And there were so many jokes to be had. Because they literally said, oh, and you can see we have new characters. And to talk about it, we have a very special guest. And I saw someone watching the podcast go, if they friggin' bring out Tupac, I'm pre-ordering the game. But it is wild. Now, it is like half okay. I'm not like according to Snoop, the estate has agreed to allow his image and likeness to be in the game, and RGG said that they were not going to use AI voice for him. So I don't know if he just doesn't talk, or they're going to have a voice actor do a Tupac impersonation, or they're going to take video clips of him and try to splice it together into conversation. I don't know what they're going to do here. That is going to be the weirdest part. And he has to live. I can't imagine you put Tupac into a game and then kill Tupac. You know. I don't know. This was baffling and disgusting partially at the same time, because there's no reason for him to be in this game. But if the estate signed off, I'm not going to like bang the door and protest the game. But they are also doing something with a Japanese actor who's dead. That's way worse than what they're doing with Tupac. They are using someone to voice a character using that man's likeness. But Japanese laws with that stuff are a little bit different. So it's a little weird. But yeah, I've never seen a game go from like top of my list to like, I don't know, I need a little more knowledge of this before I go get it. And I'm a huge Yakuza fan and RGG fan. So we'll see. Kind of crazy that Tupac got announced for this game. It's been fun watching everybody react to it. Alright, next up, Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. My favorite Assassin's Creed. Go play it. If you haven't, get resynced. It's great. You won't have to do the modern stuff, because the modern stuff sucked in the game. But everything else about the game was great. Best ship combat I've ever played. So Platinum Games is making a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games. They're doing The Last Ronin, which I believe is based on Raphael or something. Dan would know much better than I, but it's just one of the turtles after something happens. He would understand, but Platinum Games doing it is probably the best studio to get to do that. Bandai Namco is making a Gundam game called Rogue Orbit. Oh, it seemed okay. I'm not fully on board. I need to know a little more. But that's coming in 2027. That's No Moon Studio reveals Crossfire with the debut trailer. I I don't know if this. I'm assuming it's some kind of thing with that Crossfire game that's like one of the most popular games in Asia, first-person shooters. Here, but yeah, this is a bunch of ex-Naughty Dog and CD Projekt developers, so it's going to look good and it might have a good story. No announced release date, but you can wish list it if you want. Control, as mentioned before, this one was great. It showed a lot of the gameplay, got me even more excited. Guild Wars 3 announced the beta in 2027. If you're a Guild Wars person, you have a chance to check out the beta for Steam and PS5. Star Wars Galactic Racer. Yeah, if you like the pod racing, game back in the day on Nintendo 64, it's probably, game looks good. The cars do show the speed that you would think from cars like that. But jokingly on the stream, if you watch it, I needed a refill on my drink, and I just went into the bit that I hate Star Wars. And God, I was like, oh, this game's on. I'm going to go get a drink out of there. But I did watch the trailer later. It looks good. I'll probably play it. But, not a huge fan of the prequels, so we'll see. Virtual Fighter Crossroads. I believe there's a narrative to it and not just a fighting game inside of it. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I don't know exactly how maybe they're doing like a Mortal Kombat thing. That's coming out in 2027. Grounded 2 is coming to PS5. So if you were waiting for play Grounded on PS1, or not PS1, on PS4 or whatever, Grounded 2 is coming as well. Expansion for Mafia: The Old Country shows a young the young Don from like the first Mafia game. Him as a younger man here. The former Assassin's Creed developer showed off a game called 1666 Amsterdam, which is about witches, and witches be doing stuff. Hopefully this doesn't shine a light on the Etsy witches, because we need the Etsy witches. Blooper Team is making a Soul Genesis, which is a 3v1 multiplayer game. Could be interesting. We'll see. Haven't been much of a Saw fan, so can't say one way or the other in terms of my anticipation for it. Lords of Fallen 2 gets a not safe for work trailer. There was a maybe fully nude, but at least topless woman in it, which was just weird to see on SGF. But hey, it's going to be in the game, so there you go. Star Wars Zero Company, which is basically just Star Wars XCOM. Looks just like that and probably plays really well. They did show off Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen in all his glory at the end. Blood of the Dawnwalker, which is a game I am looking forward to, coming September 3rd. I don't know if I'll play it then, but it is a game I do want to check out. It's a vampire RPG. So that's coming your way. And then there was this weird Among Us thing. There's a new game. It's like a detective game called On Guard, and then the TV show aired, and I didn't know why this needs a TV show. Maybe the kids will like it. They did a bad job of selling it up there. But yeah, so that's coming. There is going to be DLC mission for First Light with Lenny Kravitz. Don't know much about it because I'm not looking into it until I finish the game. Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance announced. It's a massive expansion coming up to the current game out there. Looked like there was a lot of snow and flying creatures. That might be the gimmick on this one. Hot Wheels game coming September. Hot Wheels games have been fun. This one looks like it's going to be no different. It is September 27th. God knows if anybody will buy it or will get delayed. Sonic Crossroads has a crossover with Godzilla and Evangelion. I don't know why, but sure. It's the 35th anniversary of Sonic, so it's still going fast. They announced Sonic Pico Park being announced. Pico Park was that game that was sold, then became free since October, and they just shut it down, and this is probably the reason they shut it down, because they were releasing this game. Attack on Titan 3, announced from Omega Force. There is no release date on it yet. Clutch, it's a racing game. Gets a new trailer. Shows that it has a story. No release date from what I saw there. If you're still playing Hitman, Wiz Khalifa is the next exclusive target. Sure. So he'll join it on July 5th. Pal World is finally going 1.0 and coming out in July. So you can check out the trailer there. But if you're waiting for 1.0 Pal World, it is on the way. And Wolf Among Us 2 finally got a trailer for the first time in a while. It looks like it's coming out in 2027. Still good to see that Telltale is still doing games like that. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it's on the same quality as Wolf Among Us, because that was one of probably my second favorite. I remember it being my second favorite behind Walking Dead, but I haven't played it since it first came out. Stellar Blade, Blood Rain. It's I believe it's a standalone game set in the same universe with a new protagonist. This girl in the all-white suit here. And then we're getting to the final two things that were ridiculous back-to-back. Street Fighter 6 announced their Year 4 DLC, which included Yasmin, Arjun, Bosch, and then Tifa from Final Fantasy VII. I still personally feel that Tifa fits more in like Tekken or Guilty Gear, but I guess this announcement mixed with what's coming next made Street Fighter the best choice for them. And that announcement is Final Fantasy VII Revelation, which is the final game of the Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy. Officially announced, coming out spring of 2027. Extended look at it, and it looks amazing. And a lot of the details we're getting afterwards, because Hamaguchi is just going everywhere. He went to Maximilian Dude's house. He went to the Giant Bomb at Night set. He's got interviews all over the place. This man is just... And he's revealing different things in different places. Like they revealed that Sephiroth's new voice actor is Travis Willingham. There would be some kind of, not Chocobo breeding, but you'll get to like level up Pico from the first game to have the abilities of the other Chocobos. Now, they just don't want to say it's breeding. And the way he gets that is by, having relations. I don't know. And, sort of talking about, just some it's just been nuts. Seeing him go around. The Maximilian Dude thing was just so weird. Tom was watching that live, I know. And, he went over there for like an hour interview. It was actually probably Max cut it down. Theoretically, it looked like it was like a 30-minute interview. But, between all the, waiting for the translator and stuff like that, it added about another 10, 20 minutes to the interview. But, yeah, go watch that interview. That interview is really... Max gets him to reveal some stuff there that I didn't expect. We're probably going to see some stuff at Tokyo's Game Show or Gamescom because he says, you might get something, probably in terms of a demo or something, sooner than you think is what he said in the interview. So I'm assuming that's Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show. But yeah, everything looks gorgeous. They seem to do the in media res thing, so everything in this trailer was once meteor occurs. For those of you that played the original, there's a whole lot of stuff between what happened in Rebirth and the meteor. that they did not show. So this might have been like the middle section of the game. There's a whole thing of how they get the high wind. He confirmed that Rocket Town's in the game, Hamaguchi. And, you know, this game's going to be massive. Tom joked with me and said that he's going to have to take a week off of work. That may be underselling it. I hope this game lands the plane. No pun intended. But, yeah. Yeah, it looks really good. They're bringing Queen's Blood back. I just saw that this morning. So I'm excited. They're adding other mini games. I'm excited to see what they do with the weapons, how you fight the weapons. It's going to be fun. I knew this was going to be here. I didn't know if they were going to close the show. Game of the Year 2027 for Tom. Yeah, that and Ill. Ill came in second. Unfortunately, it was Final Fantasy VII Revelation was first. Ill was second, followed up by Wolverine. So that was Summer Games Fest. Today, if you're watching this live, you saw me talk over the Xbox Game Show. Now, Summer Games Fest, I give a B-C. Too much in the middle was filler. Too many commercial breaks. The Tupac stuff. Vibes were at the beginning and end. And that was it. So, C. I probably could be talked into a C for that. But it had games that I wanted. Xbox, on the other hand, we're going to go through the list, but I think there might have been like 2 games that I didn't care about. Everything else was, oh, that game. Ooh, that game. Ooh, that. Great Xbox press conference. We'll start in the beginning. Gears of War E-Day looks like Gears of War. They seem to change the, or make it a little more visible, the active reload. Seeing Dom without his gear, Dom and Phoenix, Marcus without their gear suits on. Seeing all the ones that died in the first couple games come back. That was fun. See the first use of a chainsaw. I did not watch the E-Day event. So I didn't get any of the deep details. If you want to go and watch that, go ahead. But it was really good. And it made me remember why I loved the first 3 games, Gears of War games. Next up was Fable. Haley Atwell. Fucking mwah. Well done in this trailer, introducing a villain. It looks like we're going to have multiple villains in this game. She may be the main villain. Or at least she, in her mind, thinks she's the hero of the story. But perfect performance. She was great. I can't wait for Fable. It's coming out in February. It's doing the other end of GTA. E-Day is doing the other end on October 6th. Halo Campaign Evolved. It looks like a much better Halo, and there is like 3 missions which read like extraction shooters. It was a really weird opening. The trailer was kind of odd, but it did look good. The shooting looked a lot more fluid. He didn't look like he moved as bad as he did in the actual original Halo Combat Evolved. So that's coming out in July. Resident, A Plague Tale Legacy. Oh, this game looks so good. That's coming out. The Plague Tale stuff just looks great. And this story, yeah. Again, Halo is a game, looked really good. Don't really care about, I'm not the hugest Halo fan, but it isn't one of the ones I didn't care about. Because it looks good, I'll probably play it. The game that I marked out for when it popped up, of anything, something later, but Persona 4 Revival, coming out in 2027. It is already a game we will stream all the way through here on the channel, coming on February 18th, so mark your calendars. We'll be playing through Persona 4 Revival for the entire year of 2027. I can't wait. State of Decay 3. Fun thing about State of Decay, I like State of Decay, I could not remember the name of this game for the life of me for like 20 minutes. If you watch the stream, I'm going, what is that ex-Microsoft game where it's like the zombie survival thing and you get like a group of people and I just complete brain fog. And then as soon as like State of Decay, that was a real fun thing to watch on the press conference. But it looks good. Hopefully some of the hiccups from the first game or the second game are ironed out. But this looks like a little bit more of the same, but probably, adding some newer elements to the base building. And it looks like there's like a scouting system. I don't know if that's in the last game, but yeah, the trailer looked good. Sea of Thieves doing a thing that is amazing. They announced that you can basically create custom maps and stuff like that called custom seas. You can set up, battles. You can just basically do what you want. It's kind of like creative mode in like Minecraft or Fortnite or whatever. Brilliant idea for a game like this to keep it fresh for people. And I'm sure they might have curated ones that you can play. But it's a great idea for a game like Sea of Thieves. Season 20, which is kind of amazing. I don't know how their seasons are broken up, but that looked good. The Metro 2039 trailer. Metro is another game. I said on the stream, I really know I would love these games, but there's just not enough time to play them. Trailer looks really good. The story's really interesting. Maybe I'll get to them one day. Bad Magpie, coming in 2027. Looks like it's another one of those sort of Untitled Goose Games, sort of wreaking havoc as a bird. Apparently, this bird either has an injured wing or no wing, and is sad that it can't fly. So it's just wreaking havoc on this town. It looked fun. That's coming in 2027. Wolong. Coming in early 2027. Never played the first one, but again, it's another one of those samurai, katana wielding, games that they all look kind of the same. The one with the baby is the only one that stands out. Next up was the cult game Join Us, announced for March 2027. The best description I heard of this is it's kind of like Cult of the Lamb brought to life. So should be a fun game to have, and they seem to be playing a lot on the comedy aspect of it. The next Hellblade game, Senua, was announced for 2027. These games look gorgeous. I just wish they had a little more meat on the bone. Maybe this one does. To not have it look like a tech demo. So hopefully I'll check this one out too in 2027 and see if it gives me any more than the last two did. I'll say this. The atmosphere, the look, the music, the voice acting, the performances, top-notch, A+. The gameplay didn't make me stick around. Maybe this one does. Doom Eternal Revelations. Take that, Final Fantasy. Has an expansion coming in July. Looks like you get a spear now. You have like a shoulder cannon, a gun, a spear, a shield. You're all decked out as Doom guy. Crazy Taxi World Tour, the thing that got us muted on Twitch. Thank God I locally record it, so you got to hear The Offspring. Unfortunately, then again, sorry people in Russia, you will not be able to see it. But it looks amazing. I popped for this a little bit. A little bit upset that it looks like they used some generative AI in it. Hopefully it doesn't. It wasn't a lot. It'd be naive to think that nobody uses AI, but hopefully the amount used in this one is, less. But I am excited for it. It looked fun. I don't know how they didn't do a Crazy Taxi before. And then a commercial, 25th anniversary Xbox with the controller. You can see it has the see-through console thing. That's announced if you want that. Minecraft Dungeons 2. Never really a Minecraft person. I heard Dungeons was great. 2 looked more the same. It looks like it has Ghost in it this time. Don't know what that means in terms of the Minecraft lore. But they look good. Magicians, The Devil's Deal. This game looks really good. I thought it was the Clockwork game at first, but that is coming later. This one looks like it has a really interesting story and interesting look to it. I'm wondering, what type of game it'll be. Valor Mortis is coming in September. Again, this game looked good and fun. It's Napoleon. So like an alternate French, or maybe the true story of France. Who knows? Looks interesting. I'll probably at least give it a look at some point. Probably not in September. Elder Scrolls Online. Couldn't care about it. I'm not an MMO guy. It's introducing the Thieves Guild for those of you that played Skyrim and all that, into the game. If you play it online, you now have this. I zoned out on this because I don't play MMOs. Same thing with there's going to be something else coming later. They did the same thing, even for a franchise I love. Flight Simulator. This looked really cool. You can go around to a lot of the national parks and get to see them in this amazing rendering. So that's coming up. That'll be on July 4th, as a nod to our country's birthday. Another game, Where Winds Meet, got an expansion. Haven't really played it. Didn't really care about it. Castlevania Belmont's Curse. This is on my list of games to get. This game looks great. I've missed Symphony of the Night. It's coming October 15th, so it's coming a little later than some of those September games. So I can definitely put that on my list and get a lot of it done before GTA. And the game I probably don't know, I know the least about, but probably got most excited when I saw it pop up, doing the gripping my chair when I saw Atlas pop up. A teaser for Persona 6. It looks like they're going more in a horror direction with this, so I'm interested to see what they do with it. It seems to have like a green aesthetic to it. So each one sort of has a color palette in it. 3 was like a bluish, 4 was like a yellow, a golden, 5 was more of a red, maroon, like a reddish, tint to it, and this looks like it has a greenish tint. And then Spyro. I got excited for Spyro. We'll see if this game's any good, but it's coming for 2027. Looks great. Spyro's an underrated game, at least the first one. So we'll see what they can do in a new generation. Clockwork Revolution, another game's at the top of my list to buy in 2027. It's going to be an Xbox exclusive. And so we'll check that out when it comes out. I am excited for it. This even got me more excited. So, great. And then the show ended as I was expecting with Modern Warfare 4. They just talked about DMZ, which is the only mode in the game I couldn't care less about. I am a campaign multiplayer COD person. This meant nothing to me. Sure, it looks good, but they also are taking it way more seriously than I would ever take a Call of Duty game. So, that was the Xbox conference. I give it a A-. It had everything I would want out of an Xbox press conference. They didn't have much of Asha. She was in the beginning. I booed Matt Booty when he came out, because that man should get booed. But everything else I was ecstatic about. So things are looking up going forward for Xbox, at least games-wise. And the one thing I loved about this press conference was it would put the Xbox logos at the top, and then if they were on other systems, they would be in small print below. Like if it was on Switch or anything. That was funny. We have to put these here. They have to be visible, but they can be smaller. None says they have to be the same size. So that was the 3 main press conferences. I did pull the story about the Story Rich press conference, but, there wasn't anything there. There's a lot of good detective games and point-and-click adventures on that. Go watch that stream. I wish listed a bunch of them. I'm probably going to download the demos. Maybe we'll check them out at some point. But, yeah. Moving on to actual news, there's only really like 4 stories that I pulled. First off, 007 First Light sells 2.7 million copies in a week. IO Interactive announced the milestone on social media with the message, "Your support means the world to us. We can't thank you enough for being a part of this journey." First Light is estimated to be IO Interactive's fastest selling game ever. So yeah, this game is really, really good so far, and I just got to the meat of the hook to keep me in, and I am excited to go forward with it. Like I said, I'm debating whether to play it tomorrow instead of UN Squadron. That's where I'm at with it, because UN Squadron will always be there. But we'll see. We'll keep you updated, but we'll definitely be doing something this week, at least 2 times this week. So yeah, go get 007. It's good and it's popular. Next up, IO Interactive reveals its roadmap for 007 First Light. They no release dates on most of this, outside of the one thing we did learn, the Lenny Kravitz DLC. But there will be new challenges and upgrades in the tax sim thing, which is sort of like VR missions, kind of. It's like the update. It's like the Hitman thing where you can go back in a level and try different things to get challenges and stuff like that, and do escalations and things. This is the more Hitman-y stuff in tax sim. Updated path tracing for PC requires the GeForce RTX GPU for that. It is coming to Nintendo Switch 2. There's a new gadget, the G2 goggles. Game mode, new game plus campaign. And then the new mission that was announced. So, yeah. I am excited to try some of this stuff out. I may, after we beat the game, we're going to do the story. Maybe we'll spend a game on the tax sim part of it. Afterwards. As a stream. So. Next up. FIFA World Cup 2026 game launches on Netflix on June 11th. FIFA World Cup 2026, described as a streamlined football simulation game, will launch exclusively on Netflix starting June 11th. The game will be available for no extra charge to members and allow up to 4 players to use their smartphones as controllers. Awesome. So this is FIFA trying to dig into some of the EA, money here with FC. We'll see how it works. But if you have Netflix, you can play it if you want to use your phone as a controller. So. And finally, I pulled this story exclusively for Dan. So hopefully he's listened this far and gets to this. But there is a remaster of the 2002 game Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee is reportedly coming this year. A cult fighting game from 2002 is reportedly set to be remastered and re-released this year. Atari has now confirmed the details of this report. Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee Remastered is currently in development, according to Dead Labs. And Atari confirmed it. The remaster is reportedly being handled by Pipeworks, a studio that worked on the original game, and will be published by Atari. According to the Insider, the game will release on November 3rd. So that has been confirmed, making it one of the handful of games daring to release near GTA 6. It will cost about $30, so it'll be a budget title on Xbox, $40 on Switch 2. So there you go, Dan. Godzilla game for you and the boy to play. Coming to PS5, Xbox, I'm assuming PC at some point, but there you go. Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. That'll do it for the news and for our podcast here. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be back tonight with something, most likely UN Squadron, but I'm debating doing Bond. Really want to do Bond. So if you see Bond tonight, that's why. And then on Tuesday, we'll probably play an hour or two of Bond before I record TCTAM. And then Thursday, we have Final Fantasy X. Friday, I'll probably do some Bond before we start recording. No Tamagotchi Life. It'll be 3 weeks. It'll be fun to go back in there after 3 weeks. I'm excited about that. See if anything's changed. We'll be doing Bond before we record Podcast Prime. And then Saturday will be Bond and Trails. And then Sunday will be Bond and News Hour. Maybe we'll have it beat by Sunday. We'll see. But yeah, that is the schedule going forward. So hopefully you guys hang around. Tonight's been fun. My voice is a little hoarse, as you can probably tell. I finished almost my entire thing of water in this giant World Series cup that I have here. But yeah, we got through it. So yeah. Thank you guys for joining me. It has been fun as always. And we'll see you next time. Bye!